This is for my speech peeps. This is for my SL peeps. It is officially summertime. The school year is over, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing my experience, a full review on my first year as a school SLP. If you guys have been following this channel, you know that I have switched over from private sector to the public school system this year, and this is the end of the year. Like, this is the last week, or I don't know, you might be seeing this after school has just been over. While I'm filming this right now, this is the last week of school. And let me tell you something, I am excited. It's time for a break. I'm going to be telling you all about my experience as my first year in a school, just some things that I kind of had to get adjusted to, some things that I really liked, things that were hard for me. And I'm sharing this video just because I just got an email yesterday from one lady who was like, hey, I'm in the private now, but I really think I need to be in public schools or just like in the school setting. So I was like, you know what? Stay tuned for my video because I'm going to be talking about that soon. First year, I honestly have to say, just in the nutshell, overall, it was a good year. I really enjoyed the job. I didn't have really that many complaints. Now, as a school SLP, it is very different from being a private practice SLP, and even more so an independent contractor of a private practice, okay? There's a world of a difference. The first obvious difference is the pay. So not saying that you make more in one and less in the other, but I am saying that as an independent contractor, you get paid per visit. So say one of your clients have to cancel or anything like that, you're not getting paid for that. You also, as an independent contractor, do not typically get benefits. You also have to take out your own taxes. I mean, that's just what comes with being an independent contractor. Fresh from grad school, I did that my first year. Then I just completed this year in the schools, and I will have to say, I loved the stability of the school year, like of the school setting. You know when you're working, you know when you're not working. That was the driving factor for me to go into the schools. I really needed that stability financially, and just with like benefits and stuff like that. Like, girl, I'm about to be 26. As far as being an SLP in the school setting, you are going to be doing general SLP type stuff. Yes, you're going to be evaluating. Yes, you're going to be giving therapy, writing therapy plans, doing paperwork. Yes, all of that is generally the same. However, different settings call for different things specifically. So in the school setting, and depending on your school and your state and where you are, there might be like compliance, how they want you to file certain paperwork, how they want you to write something. There's just different things. And so for me, in my first year, it was overwhelming a little bit. It was just a lot to learn. Not only was it a new setting, it was a new job. Like, you know what I mean? It's one thing if I was going from private to private, just a different private practice, and just having to learn how this private practice does it versus this private practice. Well, no, I was in South Carolina doing private practice there. Now I'm in North Carolina doing a school setting. So it's like, it's a lot of new. On top of the fact that I really did not know how much I didn't know about just the school system, like the resources that you have, what you can and can't do. For example, I felt like my therapy was better in the private sector just because I had room to be creative with whatever it was I wanted to do. School therapy and school treatment is for the schools. So you're not gonna be, if you're coming from private and you're just used to private and you're used to like helping that individual as an individual in the world, that's one thing. But when you get into the schools, you're helping that student achieve academic success. Whatever their impairment is, for us, it has to have an adverse effect on their education or their ability to access the curriculum. Like, how is this affecting him in class? In private practice, like, it pretty much just seems like to me, anything goes. But in school, everything is school tailored, academically tailored. So it took a little mind shift for me because I was like, no, this kid needs help. But if it's not an adverse effect, according to the eligibility criteria, the kid might not get help. that's like the start of like, oh shoot, that's kind of sucky. In the schools, there's also an overall set of demands that you might not find in the private sector. I was not aware of how involved your school wants you to be. I was an itinerant SLP, so I have 2 schools. So I'm only on either campus 2.5 days. So honestly, me being new and me being itinerant, meaning I'm in and out all the time, I didn't necessarily know all the stuff that was going on at the school all the time. At the beginning of the school year, I most definitely was not interested in like volunteering for stuff like that the school might need or anything like that, because I was just so fixed on learning the job. Like I just wanted to get my job done and I wanted to make sure I was doing it right. I wasn't putting that much of an effort towards being a part of like the school community, like PTA and like different committees and stuff like that. Like I wasn't trying to hear that in the first semester, because I was like, listen, I need to just learn my job, okay? I need to know that I'm doing this right. And that's just the perfectionist in me. But later on, I did join a committee, and later on I did like, bring snacks for the staff meet and stuff like that, But that's stuff that like, it took a shift for me, because I'm like, I'm not used to this. Like, I come and go as I please, and as an independent contractor, like, we say hey to the people you're working with in the same building or whatever, but that's about it. But in a school, especially like elementary school, oh yeah, you're gonna pull together. There's gonna be some events that they're gonna need you to stay after school for, come before school, help staple this, help do that. As an itinerant SLP, I had to make a point to build a rapport with my students, because I was new, and I was new to like 2 different schools. So like I said in one of my first videos of 5 things I learned about being an SLP, make sure you go watch that video. It took a long time for people to know me, just because I was new, but on top of that, I was new and I was only in there 2.5 days. So they really didn't know what was going on. They really weren't sure why, like, the young new girl was packing up her bag and leaving in the middle of the day. I don't know where they thought I was going. Like, I'm just going to my other building, girl. I felt like my therapy was not great this year. And that's just personal. Like, I just don't feel like I did a great job with therapy, because I was just so more focused on like learning the job and like trying to do it right and building rapport with my students and making sure like, I knew what was going on. Like, it was just so much other things that were going on that like I feel like creative therapy, like innovative therapy, kind of took a back seat. As a SLP, you're not just giving therapy to your little list of students at the school. Like, that's not how this goes. Whoever might be eligible for EC services, you need to do a hearing screening. You got to do mass hearing screenings. You have to take student concerns. You have to continue to do therapy, continue to keep up on your daily paperwork, and you also have to make sure you're writing your reports, giving comprehensive evaluations. It's a lot going on, and sometimes you just never know what you're gonna get. However, let me tell you something that is unbeatable in the schools. Something that is unbeatable is the schedule, okay? I mean, Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, spring break, summer break. That's what makes it all worth it, because you have to think about it. You're working for like 10 months out of the year, and you get paid for like all 12. Breaks is what I was missing when I was working in the private sector. Like, as an independent contractor, you don't work, you don't get paid. So it ain't no like serious Christmas break. I was working the day after Christmas last year. Oh, but this year I enjoyed that 2 weeks off, okay? 2 or 3, honestly. Like, it was amazing. And plus, in the summertime, you can do PRN positions, you can work at ESY, you can do all different types of things. So honestly, like, I like the schools. It's not that I don't think that I'm gonna be in the school forever, because I do have personal goals, but I really think that you can gain a lot of different type of experience in the schools. I have seen like a lot of different cases. I've been challenged. I've had to go back and research, which that's the type of stuff that I like. Like, I like to be challenged. I don't like to be bored. I want to kind of like figure out what the best thing I can do for this kid is. I definitely have to say, if I were to compare being an independent, now listen to me closely, independent contractor, okay? Not just an employee of a private practice that gets a salary too. No, because I've never been that. independent contractor of a private practice. Comparing that to the school, I would take the schools all day long. Now, would I do independent contracting on the side? Absolutely. Main job? No. You do get a whole bunch of autonomy. You can work when you feel like working, start when you feel like starting, stop when you feel like stopping, work on the weekends if you want to. I just think that makes a great side job for me personally. I need a steady flow of unquestionable, unchanging income. I got to meet a lot of different SLPs within my district. We met up a lot. My district provided a lot of comprehensive trainings, like I'm earning CEUs through our monthly trainings. Like it's just, there's a lot of benefits that come with it. So I'm not saying that this is hands down the absolute best setting, but I am saying that if you're coming out of grad school, or if you want something that's a little more stable financially and schedule-wise, you might want to consider the school setting. I do have the thought to start at least shadowing a medical SLP, either in the hospital or in the SNF. And I know you're probably like, shadowing, girl, why don't you just get a job? Well, I'm gonna take some CEU courses back in the medical side just to get me back familiar with what I've learned. I kind of want to just look, like observe before you pay me for it, because I'm rusty. I need to kind of like get those skills back, get reoriented. You get what I'm saying? I mean, if there's any seasoned SLPs out there who do both, who do like the medical and the school, please let me know in the comments below. Tell me what I should do, because I want to get back over there, but I'm just like, don't pay me for it yet because I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm really rusty. And I don't ever want you guys to forget, I will always remind you until I feel like I'm seasoned. I am a new SLP. Like, I'm new. Like, it's 2018. I graduated in 2016. That was 2 years ago. I don't ever want you to come here thinking that I know every single thing there is about SLP. I don't want you to come here hearing my advice thinking I'm an absolute expert. I'm not. But I'm learning as I go. I'm learning how to be a professional. I'm learning how to work in different settings. I'm learning how to handle co-workers who are old enough to be my mother that I still have to put in their place. Like, girl, that is weird for me. Overall, I do have to say I really like the school setting. I think I'm gonna do it again. I might be doing something different. You might have to wait. I think I'm gonna do it again and try to explore the medical side of SLP. So what is your favorite setting to practice in, or what setting do you think you want to go in the most and why? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye, darlings.